Hello and good day, good morning. Wherever you are most welcome, and thank you for popping in. And if this is your first visit, then more than welcome. Please return. And to those being here before, thank you so much. Before I go on to the two segments of film, I filmed on Saturday and Sunday, last 2 days. I'm going to hide behind the image that's on the screen at the moment, just in case I get an emotional outburst. By the way, that's Tulip, and those are Celandine, and that is Sunshine, which is so coincidental that I picked that one up for today's mask, as it were. So I got up, did my French, and as usual, the French language and culture was left sweating and breathing heavily against the ropes, but it survived, and it went well. And it's always a tutorial on Zoom, so therefore conversing with people in Russia, in Italy, these are in France, in other parts of Britain, and also Poland today, but usually it can be as far as North Africa, Japan, and North America, and even South America. So when I did that, it went okay, and it was an expert of all my mistakes 10 minutes after the tutorial. It was okay. Everybody was positive, and I felt uplifted after it, which is always good, a good sign. I decided to go for a walk before breakfast. And I walked to the top of the road, and I was thinking about, okay, what am I going to do today, when I heard a bleating lamb. And as I get to the top of the road, because it's so early in the year, you can look through the hedgerow. And what I saw in the field beyond was a black lamb on its own in the middle of the field, and it was bleating. And you live in the middle of the country, you realise most of the time it's that mum is in a different field, and the little lamb has panicked, can't find mum. So I just spoke to it, and I walked on. And I came to the gate about 100 feet on, and I looked in the field, and it had moved from the centre of the field to the side, and I looked where it was going, and then I saw there was a black sheep on its side, and it only took me a few seconds to realise that the sheep was dead, and the little lamb was bleating for his mum. So what I did, I went to a house very nearby, incredibly nearby, whose fields it is. I know that they lease out the field, so they could call the farmer to tell him. So I went there, quick conversation, I phoned, and the farmer was on his way. And I went back to the field to see what was happening, and it broke my heart. And what I saw broke my heart to this moment, which is why I'm not filming this. The lamb was lying down with its mum, lying against the mum, and the mum was dead. I'd done the best I could. You want to rush and give comforts, but you would get the comfort that was available when the farmer came, because, to be cynical, a lamb has a commercial value, and it would receive care literally for the rest of his life. So in the videos that's to follow, these little segments after this, I'll be talking about cognitive shifts and putting new images on top of things that depress you in order to have a positive outlook, to develop a positive outlook. I have to be honest, this is an image I am struggling to get past. This is an image that's going to stick with me for days. But anyway, there we are. I have to bear witness to it because it was appalling, and it was a lost little lamb. Right, let's get on with it. Pop up the music. Take care. I don't know, between you and me, I think we're in a false spring. Looks like it anyway, because we've had 3 days of wonderful weather. Having had those 3 days of wonderful weather, what's happening is that we've had, yesterday morning and this morning, hard frost, which is not good. And for me, that qualifies as being a false spring. I hope things won't cut out. I'm quite wise that you know, I don't know why I'm saying that, but it's quite wise of me, because I do not regard snowdrops as a sign of spring. Never have. Let's see if we can go this way. No. They remind me it's still winter. That's what they do. They remind me it's still winter. And we get loads of wild daffodils here. The wild aren't even livid by now. And when they come out, it reminds me that, okay, there is potential. And they're robust, they're solid, nothing is going to scare them. But I think one thing that suggests more than anything to me that spring is on the way is celandine. I'll show you in a minute. Celandine is a wonderful plant, and yet by wonderful gardeners or gardeners of high repute like Monty Don, he regards them as being a bit of a curse, an infestation. When I look down at them from height against a green background of verdure, it's green foliage I think, they're beautiful. They look like stars in a green heaven. What else don't I like? No, I'm just waiting for the proper sign of spring, which is bluebells, and there will be a superabundance. There'll be a smoky layer of cloud on the ground, which is what I love about them. And my cousin says she can smell their fragrance. I think after COVID, I didn't catch, well, maybe I did catch COVID, but not during the period. And I think I suffer from COVID nose. I can't scent anything. It's terrible. I have to lie. Oh yes, that's nice. You know, so don't tell anyone. And also, it is a bad time to be a bunny around here. A really bad time. I think I've seen two being carried away in the mouths of cats. I don't have a cat anymore since Shadow passed away. I don't think I could. It would break my heart to have another cat, only to lose it, or it to lose me. I think I'm of an age now where I'd be wary of having a cat and just leaving it alone. But anyway, yesterday was tragic end of a little animal. Shouldn't be regarded as amusing. However, this little cat here, I call her E.T., evil twin, because I reckon she is my late cat Shadow's a sister, and she's blind. We went to holiday. I went on holiday to France for about 10 days last year, and she was okay when I went, and when I came back, I can't get near her, so it's not lack of effort. But she lost the sight more or less. It was strange. Maybe she'd had a little stroke or an infection, and since then she's been, can't catch her to give her, I don't know, take her to a vet, and I thought I could probably afford that these days after cost of Shadow, poor thing. I'm not sure what they do. I think they would look to help her, aid her to find sleep. I've gone through that twice, so I'm not doing it again. Oof. The first time it happened, I would have been happy if you'd given the car keys to the cat and given me the injection for the suffering afterwards. I'm soft. I'm ridiculously soft. So anyway, that's that. Anyway, the young cat, we're called Teddy, after another cat called Teddy, you may know it. He caught one. He caught a little bunny rabbit. I didn't get there in time, because then the other cat, just the blind one, turned up, smacked little Teddy on the head, stole the bunny and ran away. So, you know, instinct is instinct, I suppose. Anyway, let's have a quick look here at, this is the celandine coming up, and the tough daffodils. They're nearing the end of their term now. Let's have a look. Look at that. And this is what I love. Look at this. Just these stars. Let's drift a bit. Now that is my sign of spring. I see that and I think of spring. And here, let's have a look at this one. I'm not sure which thorn this one is. It's blackthorn. I think I've decided it's blackthorn. Now the reason I love this is all the hedgerows around here are covered with it, and it will soon be festooned with these little white flowers. Let's have a look at them. Aren't they gorgeous? There we go. Get in focus. Yeah, what will happen is that they have honestly, it's a ghostly pallor. Oops, sorry. It's a ghostly pallor. Everyone, I mean, we're talking miles of hedgerows covered with it, and in between light, as we say in Welsh, rhwng daiola, twilight, they give off an enormous amount of light, and they're so beautiful. And you feel, you know, a bit of heat isn't that far away. But anyway, it's a bad time for bunnies. I think it's a false spring, despite the fact that the celandine are here. And another good sign, I suppose, if you're in a sheltered spot, that spring is on the way, is wood anemones. Wood anemones for me are a good indication, because they depend on the sun. Like the celandine, they open up for sun and they close. So the sun is so important to them, so they must know something. But in the meantime, let me turn this around. But in the meantime, barren, skeletal. But one has to hope. And the reality is that when nature hits, when spring hits this place, it just doesn't stop growing. And once the bluebells are in place, that's it for me. Damsonflies, dragonflies, you name it. Wild roses, is that Rosa rugosa? You name it, it's beautiful. So I'll leave you with that for now. Be back later. Take care.